Is it there?
Yeah,
Social media and language learning?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. So we will start with this session. Okay. Okay, so welcome everyone, and I'm really extremely sorry for all the inconvenience caused to you. But then, as we all know, that somehow we are still a little technologically challenged. We all are learning. So today we will be talking about social media and language learning. So before we move on to the important aspect of how can we incorporate social media into language learning and teaching, we have a few things to think about. What influences language, right? When we talk about English language or any other language for that matter, what is that the factor that influences language? Is language an influencer, or does language gets influenced? It's like the chicken and the egg story. What comes first? What is the role of slangs in language? How acceptable are they given the current scenario? What is the impact of social media on today's language? Right? What are we doing with the language? There are a lot of new words that are being added to the lingo, to the dictionary every year, every month. So, how are these new words being accepted? And most importantly, we as teachers, what exactly can we do about this entire scenario, this entire shift in language that is taking place due to the influence of social media? Now, when we talk about language learning or language acquisition for that matter, there are two kinds of factors. One is internal factor that influence language acquisition, and the second one is external factor. Internal factors, as we can see, largely are your personality, your inner motivation, your receptivity, your personal experiences, and your cognition, your ability to receive things. Whereas external factors are your schooling, your curriculum, the teachers that you come in contact with, the mode of instruction, your exposure to native speakers, and overall your culture and your status in the society. Now, of all these influences that we are talking about, where does social media stand? And I'm sure all of us will agree to the fact that social media is nowadays one of the biggest influencers in terms of language acquisition. Now, let us have a look at these snippets. I request all of you to quickly go through this. This is a screenshot of a chat, text messages between two people. So the mother here thinks that LOL means lots of love, and she keeps on sending the message LOL with a text that the aunt just passed away, and this one. So my point is, nowadays, when we, all of us, including teachers, when we have a look at our screens, when we take our mobile phones in our hands, such texts are not, uncommon. These are some things that we see every day. These are some things that we come across every day. So To all this, there are memes, right? When we log on to Instagram, especially, there are memes that even do not use words. These are just graphic representation of our thoughts. So, in a way, communication, if we can summarize, the journey of communication has been evolving, but the decline or the shift is from uh, oral to written communication, and even from written to graphical representation of communication. Now, we as teachers, English language teachers, have some very serious concerns about what is happening to the language. And in this scenario, how can we provide proper, acceptable English language skills to our students? Some of the things that we as teachers observe are decline in writing abilities of students. I'm sure all my teacher friends here who are attending this, they can see that there is a sharp decline in the writing abilities of students. The students are, even if you give some activity in the classroom to the students, they are more willing to respond orally, but then they don't want to write. And even if they write, the kind of writing that we receive, even for the assessments, will put us to some thought. The second is being unable to separate good English from bad English. So because all this kind of language has become a norm, it is normal now. So it will be as people have adjusted to this kind of language subconsciously, that it is very difficult to get, to separate good language from bad language. De-emphasis on body language, of course, when there is a lot of written communication and texting and chatting and whatsapping and facebooking, where does body language go? That intonation, your voice modulation, your facial expression, so is all these things, are they taking a back seat? Face to face communication is almost becoming non existent. Of course, there are these platforms like Zoom and Google Meet, but then again, it is a technological platform. It's not a face to face communication. And of course, all these leads to communication becoming more impersonal. But my question is to all of you there, is there a flip side to this? Right? Is there a different angle to the story, or is it all that bad as it appears? Okay, let us have a look. But before we do that, let us see what is happening to the language. A lot of new words are being added to the language. For instance, all of us know about the word selfie. As if selfie was not enough, now even there is a word called group fee, right? So a lot of new words are being added. Meaning of old words are being changed, right? For instance, the word gay has been drastically changed. In earlier times, the word gay simply meant a person who used to be happy and gay. But now, gay talks more about sexual preferences of the people. So there are the meanings of the words are changing. More concise language use, with the intervention of technology, the language has become more concise and people have somewhat started talking to the point, because it takes a lot of efforts to type. Idea of getting to the point as quickly as possible and not expanding on the detail too much. So again, the one thing that we always looked at in writing is brevity, is conciseness, right? Precision. So with the help of technology, maybe we are able to, if not achieve that, we are coming near to that. And it is easier to bring new word trends to the masses. Imagine if there was a new word, say 25 years ago. Okay, you start using a word. Let us take the example of selfie again. So how long would it take to get the word selfie accepted by the people? But nowadays, with the help of social media and technology, the word gains popularity in no time. So it is getting easier and easier to add new words to the our dictionary or already existing words. Now let us have a look at the new lingo. Have a look at these words on your screen. For instance, baby moon, right? We all are familiar with the word honeymoon, but what is this baby moon, right? A relaxing, a romantic holiday taken by parents to be before their baby is born, right? So, because this particular concept did not exist earlier, hence the word was missing. So, this is a cultural shift which leads to a new word, development or origin of a new word. Bitcoin, Dappy, Buzzworthy, all these words are recently added to the lingo. Emoji, double denim, cake pop, and the evolution of language. Language is something that has always been evolving. Language is not static, it keeps on moving, it keeps on evolving. So, in the ancient times or in the older times, we used to convey our emotions and thoughts in a longer sentences, well structured sentences. But as you can see, ages after ages, now the word, the sentence that this makes me very happy, or the your presence in this room actually makes me feel very happy. This sentence has been reduced to an emoji, right? And intentionally or unintentionally, all of us do this. Now, my point is we have understood the importance of social media technology, and we have also understood that how social media is impacting our language. Now, the question is how can we use this to our benefit? How can we use it to make language learning happening? How can students make use of these tools so that they can acquire language in a better manner? Now, there are a lots of benefits of using social media. There are linguistic benefits, there are cultural benefits, and there are social benefits. As you can see on your screens, noticing vocabulary, right? Grammar, expressions, idioms. These are expressions and idioms. These are something that you can learn best from the native speakers, right? Collocations, for that matter. It is very difficult to get, hold of correct collocations. So if you are hooked to social media, you better do it in a right way so that you can get benefit out of it. Authentic material. Now, the communicative approach to language teaching, it strongly advocates the use of authentic material and realia into the classroom teaching. So when a student wants to learn a language, the best thing could be learn it from the authentic resources. Cultural benefits, again, we have access to native speakers. We can not only understand the language, we can understand their routines, their cultural aspects, their opinions, their media and journal interests about everything. So as we all know that language doesn't stand in isolation. Language, any language, be it English, Hindi, or any language for that matter, it is an integral part of that culture. So it is really important to have an overview of the culture if you want to have a good grasp of the language. Also, we have the social benefits like extending learning outside the classroom, social presence, self directed learning, and most importantly, ownership of the learning. So the now the ownership of the learning, it shifts from the teacher to the learners. Now, this is a very important slide. Let us have a look. Just a second. Okay, yeah. So now let us have a look at who are our learners, who are we dealing with, right? The students nowadays generally they have low interest in language learning. If we, especially if we talk about the students who are into STEM or management students or specifically science or engineering students, so they give preference to their core subjects over language learning. So in general, most of the teachers who have taught or who are dealing with the students related to engineering colleges and universities, they will understand what I am trying to say here. This is very important. All the students need to have a look at it. It says there is a research conducted by Prensky in the year 2001. It says are used to high speed, globally accessible resources, and they feel around the end. Think about another report says that 18 to 24-year-olds spend at least 4 hours online. Point here that is a report of 2010, and a lot has changed since then. So we know that these have turned into tasks. And this is last point I want all to get. This is shocking, at least it says Hello, am I audible? Right. Yeah. So we were talking about slide 17. Were we here? Hmm. Okay. So again, I don't know where I when I lost the connection, but then again, I would like you to have a look at slide 17. Percent people aged between 16 to 22 and 48% people aged between 23 to 30, they said that they would rather give up their sense of smell than an item of technology, right? So we now understand that our learners, the kind of learners that we are dealing with, and what we have to do in order to have the best medium of language acquisition for them. Now, what does the research say? Now, there was a research that was conducted in China. It says that 94% of the students in China believed that their English was drastically improved with the Twitter. Lee and Markey conducted an experiment in the year 2014 with two categories of students, Spanish and English, and they also found that Twitter and Facebook were very, very useful as a tools for learning language. And then there are number of studies in South Korea and different parts of the world that claim that social media definitely enhances the learner's motivation to begin with and eventually the language acquisition. So hence all these studies put together, they conclude that social media, it facilitates the development of intercultural, socio-pragmatic and audience awareness, and it also, to a large extent, provides an integration, a blend of formal and informal learning, which we all will agree that is a best way of any learning to happen. Now, I will get into the details. We'll talk about a little, in specifications of social media language learning. We have various social media tools. For instance, we have Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Insta, and so on. So what exactly can we do with the help of these mediums? For instance, Twitter, we all are aware that Twitter has a limited limit of characters. You are limited to write, to express yourself in the minimum number of words. The earlier, I think the character limit was 140 and now it has been changed to 280. So when we use Twitter for language learning as a student or as a teacher, what it does is it encourages you to think in a clear and precise manner because you don't have scope to go to beat around the bush and tell long stories. So you have to come to the point. It also helps your editing skills. It also helps in synthesizing of language. Suppose you want to communicate an idea, but your idea is going beyond 240 characters. So what you will do as a learner is that you will edit that, you will remove extra words, so you will put in some efforts so that your message you can fit into the frame of Twitter. Similarly for Facebook, I suggest is a very good platform for cultural, get together, and also for exposure to native speakers and real language. There are many approaches in English language teaching, especially communicative approach, that advocates the use of real language in the classroom, not the language that is used in books, not the fill in the blanks or the exercises that we give to the students. What is happening in the real world? How do we communicate in the real world? So bring in that kind of language into the classroom, right? That is because basically communication is not meant for reading books, it is meant for communicating. So you should be enabled to express yourself in the real language that world understands. So I say, in my opinion, Facebook is a very good platform for that. LinkedIn is an exceptionally good place for professional communication, profile building, resume, CV writing, and also networking and establishing connections. YouTube is a wonderful place where students can enhance their speaking skills. Majority of our students, if we talk about, they have fear of speaking. If you tell anyone in your class that you have to give a presentation of say 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes in front of the entire class, most of our students will lack in this. So what can we do about it? A small video can be made and uploaded on YouTube to enhance the speaking skills. Instagram is a very interesting platform and a very valid question, that how can this assist in language acquisition, since it is largely about pictures, it is about graphic, it is not about words, right? So what we can do is that Instagram has a lot of images that can be used for caption writing, for creative writing, and a very interesting theory that is proposed by a professor from Davidson College. He compares Instagram memes to the folklore that we used to have in earlier times when the language was largely oral, right? So the oral culture of language, where each group used to have its own folklore, and that folklore was limited to or understood by the closed group. So similarly in Instagram, there are memes, and most of the times the memes are understood only by the speakers or the culturally enclosed group. So in some way we are telling the tales to people, but then it is something that will not be understood by the people who doesn't get the context of what we are saying. So again, it is somewhat like a modern folklore. Then there are blogs that can assist reflection, sharing of opinions, discoveries, and wikis. So all these platforms are very good for language acquisition. There are some educational sites also that learners can use. Babbel, Memories, Busu, Duolingo, all these are very good sites, and most of them, I think almost all of them, are available in the form of applications also. So we can download these apps and we can just start working with them. One good feature or very interesting thing about all these things that I'm discussing here is that these are not just merely reading sites or apps. These are the sites where you can actually work with, like they will be giving you some activity and then you'll have to respond, and there will be some kind of tracking, monitoring on the daily basis. So it leads to gradual learning of language. Okay, now I'll talk about specifically Twitter for language learning, right? In first, I spoke about all the platforms in general. How can we use especially Twitter for language learning? Mm, First of all, we can use it for learning our vocabulary, enriching our vocabulary. There are many accounts on Twitter. There are many pages. You can follow them. Second thing is you should learn how to tweet. As I said earlier, it is an important thing in itself that how can you communicate yourself in the minimum possible words. Follow an important event, conduct a Twitter interview, connect with other schools, see what's happening around the world, and most importantly, which is the premise of social media language learning, get connected to native speakers, follow native speakers, get exposed to authentic material and real language. How can we use Facebook for language learning? There are many language learning groups that I will be sharing with you in the next slide. You can join all those language learning groups. You can like the pages, you can follow the pages that deal with your target language. And when I say language learning, obviously I am talking about English language, but then it is applicable to all the languages. For instance, you want to learn Spanish or you want to learn German, so you have to select the pages that target German language learning and you have to click those pages. You can watch viral videos from people that speak your language of interest. Adding native speakers to your friend list always works, and not only just adding, communicating to them on daily basis. Maybe just a small hello or just a brief conversation, just commenting on their post, establishing communication with native speakers, following pages of brands or stuff originating from countries that speak your target language, and check out Social Bakers. Now, my dear friends, Social Bakers is not exactly a language learning platform. It is basically a marketing platform that has many things. But what you can do is you can pick a country that targets that speaks your target language, and then you can start following that page so that you can get exposure to authentic language that is being used in that circle. Also, we have Wikibooks for language learning. You can post on Wikibooks, you can add a group, you can conduct discussions, you can start forums, you can create chain stories. So there is a lot you can do with the help of Wikibooks, right? You can even write your new articles and new issues on Wikipedia. All of us know that Wikipedia is editable. Okay, now these are the pages that I was talking about earlier on Facebook. Uh, there are a lot of pages on Facebook, a number of them, but these are the ones that I personally use and I really find them good. We Do Languages, Learn English Teens. Learn English Teens is a part of British Council. British Council has a number of pages on Facebook, region, country wise, region wise, level wise, for teens, for adults. So you can just filter whatever suits you best and then you can accordingly like the page. Social Bakers, I have already told you, English vocabulary, English idioms, daily English practice, learn English. Now, this VOA learning English is specifically for American English. People or the learners who wish to acquire American kind of English, they should go for this page. And Learn English page just above that, it is specifically for Australian English. So even in English, what exactly are you looking for? You can get such results if you use proper filters. And then of course there is our BBC Learning English. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll be talking about some activities that students can do and teachers can take up with their students in order to acquire language. Imagine you are a YouTuber. You can craft a video about a trendy topic and post it on YouTube. Now you can also write some suitable captions for Instagram images. You can create a closed group on Facebook, add all the class students to that group. You can discuss about your daily lessons there, like we do it in the classroom. Once a session is over, we always keep last 5-10 minutes for summarizing the entire lecture. So instead of doing that in the classroom, we can make a closed face group page for that, and then we can do that. We can also tweet about a social cause that impresses you the most or that impacts you the most, and you can use proper hashtags for that. You can take up Instagram like language challenge. It is Instagram language challenge is something that is already there on Instagram. You have to follow that. It gives you 28 prompts per month, and there are two key things to talk about already. So it helps the beginners or the learners who are just trying to take their language a notch higher. So prompts are there, keywords are there, and with the help of images and captions and everything, you have to create write-ups. And then there is this activity, the last one, which is again related to the Facebook. This I actually did this activity with my MBA students. I asked them to form a company, right? Non-existent company on paper, design a brochure, promote the company, promote the product or the services, whatever that company is offering, and that Facebook page or that closed Facebook group was used for all kinds of discussions, activities, meetings. All the brochures were displayed on that group, right? So this was something that I did personally, and it really went out very well. So now, and these are some links and websites for teachers. Those were specifically for students. Now, I myself follow all the items on this list, but I would specially recommend materials for English teachers. It is a very good page on the Facebook where you get a lot of material. If you want to bring in some innovation in your language assessments, then language testing is a very good page. You can just like or follow that page, and then you will get ideas on how you can assess your students in a variety of ways. Cafe English is largely about discussions. What English teachers, they get together and they discuss and they share, and then they come up with some solution if you're facing some issue or some problem related to that. These two links, these are for from British Council, and these specifically talk about the social networking groups. These are PDF. I can share with these two, in fact all of these with you later in the chat. Okay, so on a lighter note, mobiles generally not allowed in the school, but kind of situation we are living in, students are not allowed in the school, but mobiles are. So let us see what can we do and how can we, make the most out of this situation. These are the references that I have used, and thank you. This was my presentation. Okay, so I'm waiting for the questions. Okay, there is a request that could you please send the PPT slides? Definitely, I'll share the slides with all of you, and Dipali wants to see the references. So along with the references, the PPT slides, you will get to see the references also. Okay, Zainab is saying that he uses WhatsApp for discussing uh, English lessons daily with his students. Right. So, in fact, Zainab, in continuation to what you are saying, not only English lessons daily, I'll share with you that recently, in the moment, I am attending one course. The course is on advanced writing, right? And I am attending that entire course through WhatsApp. There are no Zoom meetings, there are no Google meetings, there is nothing. The entire course is being done through WhatsApp and it is being done beautifully. So even I was a little skeptical initially that how can we do it? But then, yeah, but then we can do it, right? Uh, Anyone else, please post your questions if you have any. Okay, how to find such courses? I'm sorry. Can you use your mic and just you can speak? What courses are you talking about? Sorry. Anuj and Satya Seelan, they are asking something about courses. Can you please switch on your microphone and let me know which courses are you talking about?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, actually, you said that for courses you are opting in WhatsApp.
right.
Can I get some English literature courses in WhatsApp? So, how can I find it that there is a class that is being conducted?
Okay, so again, I'll share something with you. In this period, in this quarantine period, I have done more than 4 courses. This is my fifth course that I'm doing on WhatsApp, right? So again, all this comes through social media. Since I am following and I am liking so many pages on Facebook, all related to English language learning and teaching. So these pages they keep on announcing various activities, courses, and even competitions. There are even announcements for courses, paid. What should I say? Projects, right? So my suggestion to you is that you please like good English language teaching and learning pages on Facebook. You follow those pages and you will get a lot of information. That is how I get it.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
I am Anuj here.
Yes, Anuj.
Yeah, ma'am. You just spoke about that page, na? So how can we get that page
Right.
on Facebook? Is there any link or something that we can explore such pages, or randomly you got that page? My
Okay.
question was same the answer you gave. So I am little bit clear, but how can we explore such pages?
Right, I'll answer your question. The first thing is to begin with, you can go with the pages that I have suggested you, right, in the presentation.
Yeah,
Those pages are all tried and tested and they are very good. Once you start following those pages, it is like it builds exponentially. Then one page will lead you to other. When you start following the page, you will see that someone from the other group is also commenting on that page, and you feel that this comment is good and this page is also worth exploring. And see, in Facebook all the pages are free. If you don't like it, you always have an option of leaving it, right? So by
yeah,
chance if you feel that I am following this page but this page is not doing any good to my language or it's not helping me in any way, you can always unfollow that page, right? So to begin with, the pages that I have suggested you here, you definitely follow those pages.
okay. And, ma'am,
Yes.
how can we get that WhatsApp group from that page? It is there only, or
No, no, it's not there. The announcement of the course was made on Facebook, right? But the
okay,
course is being run on WhatsApp. It's not run on Zoom or any Google Meet like we are doing right now. The entire course is being run on WhatsApp. The audio files are shared, the video files are shared, the texts are shared on WhatsApp, and it's going very well. To my surprise. So, but I got the link about that course from Facebook.
okay, I got it. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, I think yes, I will share the presentation with you. I have your email IDs. All of you have registered. So I'll request my team to share my presentation with you. That is not an issue. Okay, so I think we have taken up all the questions. There are no more questions, right?
Hello,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can you add up on how the words are being added to dictionaries?
Okay,
Uh,
so I have, the entire session lined up for this. I think in a day or two. The entire session, the 40-minute session, is just about adding words to the dictionary. I think that is on first of May, right?
right.
So my team will send you the link. You please attend that, right? And you will have a lot of clarity on that.
Sure,
Okay?
ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think we are done here. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thanks a lot, and I'm really sorry. I apologize for the this incident where the speaker could not turn up, but I really hope that you guys got something to learn from this session. And thank you once again. Bye bye. Have a good day.